Hi, welcome back to another Force Tech Talk. So one of the previous podcasts we did previously, we did a roundtable because we had questions sent in. So it went down really well. So we thought we'll get the same team back to do another one and maybe just lucky dip, pass the bag around and see what comes out. So Edda, there you go. You start.
So I'm allowed to be annoyed with him if he gets a really bad question for me.
Well, no, it's the question.
You don't want to fire me on front of the camera, do you? I am being offered a last time buy, but it will leave me with a lot of inventory. I don't like this word, inventory. Should I buy all the stock I can, or just some of the stock to tie up over for a few years and aim to redesign, or for a redesign?
I feel like we would have different answers to this because from a sales point of view, I would just say if you've got it and you can get the budget for it, just take it. Just take it. Try and get a really good idea of what you're going to need, not just for the next few years, but as long as possible, and just take it. Just take it and store it with, I mean, we have storage, or, you can do things with it. I think just if you've got the option, take it.
Yeah, definitely. It's something I learned working for Force, and we mentioned this on the last conversation we had. Yes, my lean mindset says inventory is a waste, but understanding the business better now, I understand that is unavoidable, and it's the best way to protect and prevent further risks in the line.
Yeah, it's just the industry we're working. It's just.
Yeah. Having said that, the problem with end of life is that prices tend to go up. So I think what you need to do is work out what the cost of it is first, because costs may be way too prohibitive. And if you know the part's gone obsolete and you've got some time for your next production, I would say buy enough to last a few months for production, and then speak to somebody like us or another solution provider to put a Force Technologies, a form fit function, and buy it at die level, and store it at die level, which is also what we do, so that it's not so costly for you, because cost is a big inhibitor. And as I say, manufacturers, as much as they disagree with me, and I'm sure I'll get again feedback on this one, but they do put the prices up. End of life, everybody wants it, happy days, ka-ching, ka-ching.
Yeah.
Okay, so I think if cost is going to be prohibitive for you as a customer, look at a solution before you commit, is my answer to that.
Yeah. It always comes down to budget, doesn't it? Oh. How can procurement be involved earlier in forecasting obsolescence rather than having to react to issues? I think, this is going back to previous conversations we've had about some people have a really, really clear idea of it because of their end customer and their forecasting, and some just are kind of flying dark, and they really, even if they ask the question, they don't get the answer. But how can they be involved early in forecasting obsolescence?
There's a lot of really good tools out there that allow you to, just upload your entire BOM in CVS format or Excel format or whatever you've got, and they will just do a full sweep of all those part numbers, and then those companies are feeding back constantly and getting and requesting feedback from manufacturers. I mean, we even get requests ourselves on our parts to see if our stuff's still active, and we're an aftermarket manufacturer, so they do a very good job, a lot of those companies. And if you sign up to that, they're X amount per year, and
there's some really good ones now.
Yeah, they're fantastic, and they take on all the end of life notifications. They take on product discontinuing notifications. They take on change notifications as well. So you've got a whole bunch of information there. I think that forms a really the backbone of your obsolescence, really, because then you can see that, right, we're going to have a problem in a couple of years on this part. Okay, well, the rest of it's fine. We don't worry about that, and then really key into that stuff early. So then.
You're not so reactive.
So engineering have the time to review it and make sure that there is a good solution in place, and then pass that information to procurement, so that procurement, get a really good,
engage early on that as well.
To know exactly when, then they can start reviewing, well, how much is this replacement, how much, how much are we going to have to buy, and all that kind of thing. So
yeah, the earlier the better for sure. But yeah, you might miss some, but Accura's Parts Intelligence said to Silicon Expert, there are so many that do really, really good services on that. So
all available at ION International, absolutely.
Is it Smart PD?
Smart PCM.
Smart PCM.
PDN. Yeah, that one's fantastic as well. Is redesign the right response to obsolescence, or should I be looking to use a different solution?
I would always, just from my point of view, just pump the brakes before you go full into a redesign. I think you have so many other options before you go down that route, because it takes so much time, so much money. You have to check out so many things on the back end, I think.
It really comes down to, for me, I mean, mercifully, we're not in a situation where we're having to monitor that many, hundreds and hundreds of parts on a critical bomb for multi-million £1 product or whatever it is. But I mean, it's an unenviable position to be in. But I think, once you see that, you've got 10, 15, 20 different parts that are all going to have to, at that point, I would think, how do I redesign this thing? But then it's a nightmare trying to redesign any kind of product in that kind of environment.
But then if everything on your board has gone obsolete, you haven't done a very good job, have you? I mean, let's be fair.
Well, you
haven't designed for obsolescence, have you? That's the other thing.
Well,
they don't design for obsolescence.
Yeah.
I think it's becoming more and more of a thing, like designing for obsolescence is being pushed a lot more, but you get caught out, don't you?
Can I come for a visit?
Yeah.
Well, yeah, of course. We are in the process we've got a lot of building work going on with our expansion, but certainly we welcome all customers, all of our friends in the industry are very welcome to come and visit us. We even had our local MP visit us quite recently. He came, was very interested in what we were doing. So I mean, just get in touch with any one of the team and pop in. Yeah, no problem.
Can I add something?
You can.
It's my dream, personal dream, to make Force Technologies a lean model of company.
So only one visitor at a time?
No. I want to have visitors. My dream, my personal dream, never talked to you about this, but I want to have visitors every week, people coming from the other parts of the world to learn from us. That's my personal dream. And we're working on it.
We are working on it, Edda. We certainly are.
It's a good goal. I think from my point of view, any customer that wants to come in, always welcome.
How would you ensure traceability when sourcing hard to find or lifetime buy components? Sorry, my reading. But I think as a quality engineer, traceability is the first place we focus. We prioritize paperwork. But there will be situations that paperwork is not available. And that's where I learned from Ben early at some point that there will be tests, and Ben can expand a lot more. There will be tests that will help us to identify if the part is a counterfeit or no, if the parts meet the requirements. Not sure if you want to explain a little bit on.
Yeah, I mean, I think how do you ensure? I mean, you buy from traceable sources where you can. There's massive pitfalls, unfortunately, because in the semiconductor world, for example, say like you're buying dies, the original commercial, a lot of the dies in even high-end, high-reliability semiconductors use the same base die, and whether or not you were buying it from the original manufacturer as a commercial, industrial, or military temperature graded component, it's generally all the same die. But on the sort of lower end of that, on the commercial, if you're buying it in as a commercial wafer, they didn't really give you back in the day,
we never got CFCs. Yeah. No, when I worked for Atmo, I mean, we never got. So
you've got maybe a packing list to go back to, and then is that enough for the customer in terms of, or person buying that in? So is a packing note enough to show like a chain of traceability back from either a franchise distributor for that product, or it's a tough world. I think really you get as much as you can make sure if that's enough for the project, and if you can get the full-blown CFC.
Sometimes it isn't. I remember Spanshan used to send out their die just a packing note and the batch number on it.
Mm.
But they had a separate. But we're trying to work out the batch number and how, you know, which factory. You had to know the code.
Mm.
You know, you had to work out. Okay, the SX is from this factory, and this means it's this batch, and this, that, and the other. And it's really, really complicated.
Yeah,
because sometimes the actual packing note is not enough for
no.
Especially in the aerospace industry, it's just not acceptable.
I mean, or if it was a paper copy back in the day, and you know, the logistics or the warehouse get it in, and they don't scan it, they don't realise how important that paperwork is.
I think that's a really important thing, because document retention is huge. Like it's not just ensuring, when you buy it in. It's, as you say, ensuring down the line when you actually go to build from it 5 or 10 years later that someone else thrown that bit of paper away when it came into the logistics place, or stores or whatever.
You see, you're always moaning at me that I have boxes and boxes of paperwork, Edda, but it's for a very good reason.
Paper is important sometimes.
In our archiving warehouse with paperwork, but it isn't. And we have been asked recently to dig out some very old
paperwork,
dyed paperwork. So.
It is important. I think it's also knowing your customer and what they're going to be, what's acceptable to them, and what they can accept and what they can't accept on traceability. And you don't want to get in a situation where someone's made really good investments and then they haven't got the traceability to back it up. So it's
that's why Edda check. I mean, you've got a process, haven't you? When we get something into our long-term storage, it goes through a process.
Yeah.
To make sure that we have everything in place before we store it.
Documentation.
If it's not ours, we have to make sure we store it. I mean, we've had one recently where one batch had a paper and one didn't. So we've had to go back to the customer and say, I'm happy to store it, but you've got 3 batches, 2 have got CFC and 1 hasn't. What do you want us to do? So I know you've got a process for that.
Yeah.
Ed's got a process for everything.
Of course he has. Of course he has.
All right, I think, we'll stop it there if everyone's happy. But thank you very much for joining us for another Force Tech Talk, and maybe do another one of these again. Who knows? But thank you for joining.